welcome to YOUCANIC. In this video we're gonna troubleshoot a Land Rover. Here we have a few warning lights on. You can see check engine light is on, transmission fault, error message there. So we're gonna use the YOUCANIC full system scanner to find out what's going on. So you're gonna go to Diagnostics and then you wanna select Land Rover, and then from this point you need to select the model, which you can do it manually here, or select Smart Then. Press OK. Press yes. And then go to Diagnostics again, do quick scan. What this does, it goes through all the control modules that are on the car, and it tells us if there is any fault codes in them, the status of the fault code, and you can see here that the powertrain control module has one code that's intermittent. Transmission control module doesn't have any. ABS has one. Now you can enter any of these control modules manually, which we'll do in a minute, and take a deeper look at that particular control module, that fault code. So let's give this a minute and then we'll look at a couple things. So the scan is complete here. You can see there's quite a few control modules on this vehicle. You can click on the arrow on any of them if you just want to see the codes for that module. But the other thing you could do is you can come down here, click report, and then scroll down all the way to the bottom, and then we have a list of all the codes here. Sometimes looking at the codes all in one place helps you narrow down the issue. For example, if you have a bad ABS wheel speed sensor, it's going to trigger a number of fault codes in different control modules, but they will all point to that one faulty ABS wheel speed sensor. So sometimes maybe you might have a number of codes that are triggered due to low voltage. Here we have lost communication. That most likely was because of the battery being dead. So quite a few control module lost communication, most likely due to power. Here we have a number of fault codes that are intermittent, and the ones that are historic are just issues that happened in the past and they're not present right now. So go back here, we can save the report, we can hit erase, and then the scanner is going to go through each one of these control modules and clear any codes that can be cleared. So if they are historic, basically they will clear, but if they're current or present, they won't clear, because that issue needs to be addressed, it needs to be fixed. If you go to powertrain control module, for example, we enter that module, we can read codes from that one and go back. We can clear that code, but in this case that code will come back. It's intermittent, it might clear for the moment, but then it'll come back if the issue has not been addressed, if it hasn't been fixed. But you can go to live data, and then we'll look at data from that has to do with the engine control unit or powertrain control module. In this case it's called. If we went to transmission, then we'll see data that has to do with the transmission. Now, this list is very long, but it can be very helpful if you're troubleshooting a problem. You can see here, and we're only 1/3 through, so I'm gonna just kind of scroll through them real quick. And then they do change as the values change, as the engine load changes. These values will change life. Alright, so let's go back, and for example you can go transmission doesn't have any issues, but you could enter that as well. And then if you want to check, for example, let's say a transmission fluid temperature, you can come in here, all data, and then you can look in here until you find the transmission oil temperature, for example, and data from different solenoids and torque converter, things of that nature. Alright, so you can do that with any of these control modules in here. So if you're trying to troubleshoot a problem, you can enter the control module that you are interested in and do further troubleshooting, look at live data, and things of that nature. And that's all. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.